Now, we don't just pop up a video overnight without knowing what we're talking about. Scamming the government. They're not married, although they have a child together. Yeah, minivan musician. That's funny. They also got charged for stalking. He's quit posting anything now after that last video we put out. My name saying that I stole money. So yeah, actually got and there's not even a picture of her or him on her page. Living in a minivan or something, I don't know. But if you watch those videos, they're into serial killers. They kind of like want to be Dexter, where they go out and kill people. They're really strange and got some weird ideals. And the Rosalie situation, since her daughter and son-in-law was arrested yesterday, and for knowing what we're talking about.
Hi, everybody. Before we get to answering John's accusations about our life, which will empirically prove are absolute lies, I don't think apologize is the right word, but I want to state that I empathize with his followers, because I've never in my life before seen anybody completely lie in this way.
Yeah, it's a pretty pathetic, straightforward, not just like a little white lie type thing. That's bad enough. These are flat out lies.
Like disprovable in a split second. That doesn't benefit him or listeners at all or viewers at all. And the reason I say that I empathize with that is there's been people that I followed that did 10% of this, and it kind of made me doubt everything else they did after that.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's kind of like, if he's going to lie about stupid things like this, what else is he lying about?
Right, yeah.
Like when he says, I got a big story coming up, and it's like 2 words into it, you've already told 15 lies. It's like, should we wait for the thing that's next week and see what you have to say? Not unless it's just satirical or I don't know.
And I mean, if we're so, minivan musician, nobody cares about us then.
Right,
Your viewers don't care.
Why are you
about
punching
us.
down so badly? I don't understand it, and maybe we'll get into that later. But I really don't understand it.
Why are you talking about these people? We don't know.
It makes no sense. He says it too.
Yeah.
That he's got videos planned. But I'll get into the bullet points. That's what I have here, because I've cut out the things he said directly about us, and I haven't answered every one of them because I have to. I don't want to make this video. I'm very, very busy with other things. But I've never seen someone, quote, know what they're talking about, who's wrong about absolutely everything. Like, John, you're really bad at this. Just stick to what you do, pointing a camera at people who actually have interesting stories. Don't try to be the story, because you're really bad at this. It's the condescending laugh that you'll hear lets you know he's going into a lie.
Yeah, everyone's got a little bit of a tell.
Yeah, scamming the government. Knowing what we're talking about.
So it's the HUD thing is the first thing. He says he's got people working on things.
I have no idea who your sources are, but oh my God, you better find some better ones, dude, if you have any at all. I have never lived in HUD housing.
Me neither.
We have rent to pay every month that we pay every month. He is definitely on the lease, and you're about to see the lease. When we've lived here long enough and had the same lease going for all that time, that our lease freaking is all wrinkly.
Yeah, it's not exactly creative. It's not like the greatest, most professional lease either.
We do not live in free housing.
No. And what's crazy is he knows where we live. And the thing is you can search HUD housing.
Yeah.
You can put an address in, and it'll tell you if it's a HUD house.
Or a street, if there's any.
Yeah, a whole street. There's not one on our street,
mm-hmm.
which I thought was wild. I figured there'd be like 1 or 2 mixed in there, but there's none.
We know a little bit about HUD housing from seeing it all over Detroit.
Right.
It's like, come on, dude.
It makes me think of my mom, and it reminds me that my mom, up until the day she died, she was on disability. She literally spent every cent she had on keeping that house, which she wasn't able to do at the very end, just so she wasn't in HUD housing.
Yeah.
So many times I urged her to do that, and she always said, I'll never put my kid in HUD housing. And then once I became, a young adult, sort of, and I was already gone, I'm not going to do that. She had her thoughts on that. I could see how it benefits people, but no, we ain't cheating the government on that. And even if I knew how, I wouldn't.
No.
You know, so it's pretty pathetic. But
not married, although they have a child together. Yeah, Minivan.
He says we have a child together.
Oh, well, we have 2.
We have 2.
You know, I mean, that's easily, you know, I just can't even.
It's so stupid.
There's 2 kids. Everybody knows that. Everyone, you can look at my Facebook for 5 seconds and know that we have 2 kids. I mean,
it's unreal. Like, honestly, it's like all over the place, you know?
Oh, God, we're unmarried.
It's like, oh, I'm doing some digging. Well, you didn't use Facebook. You didn't use Google. You didn't use a government website.
And why are we unmarried again? What was that? Oh, well, yeah. Because we can't get married. Because we can't, you know, then we can't defraud the government.
Does he understand how, like, finances? Apparently not. But, yeah, we're not. To be honest, before I even heard what he said in this video, because people told me, oh, he made this video saying all these bad things about you, I came to a determination that I'm kind of actually like a boring person. There's not a lot of sensational things to say about me. But realistically, one of the few things that I'm bothered by is the living in sin thing, despite our age. You would think I wouldn't feel that way. We've been together 11 years, and it's just one of those things where I want to do it a certain way. And we've just never been in a position to do it, you know? And now I'm finally to the point where I'm like, screw it. We're just going to do it. Like, I don't need that. It's not like I'm a woman. I want a big wedding or something, but I wanted the ability to, like, I wanted to own a house already. I wanted, you know, things like that. So
he has typical standards that a good man should have.
Oh, thank you.
So, I mean, it's, I get it, although it frustrates me being the woman, obviously.
May as well be married.
But, you know, yeah. Well.
No, but really as like an apologetic and somebody who should be like a head deacon, but I can't be because of that. It does actually bother me. That is something that I do consider to be a sin, and
we already have a place to do it. In the next 2 years, we'll see what happens.
Yep, great place.
Stay tuned.
Well, yeah, stay tuned. You'll love that place.
They also got charged for stalking.
And let's talk about stalking. Okay, so
do we have the definition of stalking? We should have that. But, you know, typically when you're stalking somebody, that means that you are usually reaching out to them, going to their place of work, or harassing their place of work, calling their place of work, going to their place of living constantly, which...
like maybe calling like their family or something.
No, if their family calls you, that's different.
Right. But let's make this real clear. We've been to that place one time. We've been there one time, but I can't even say we've been there.
Yeah.
We were in the neighbor's driveway.
We were not going
Never set foot in Hope Village. We filmed the whole thing. Like, the entire thing. There's not a second left out.
The entire thing.
Yeah, and they knew that. And it's like, how are you lying to yourself?
You were filming us, too, at the end of it when you were, out there.
Show nobody. So, I mean, basically what it comes down to is we went to his house. He wasn't there. Yes, he has problems with Hope Village, blah, blah, blah. We were going to other places that day to document some things that are pretty shady. We didn't even care about the Hope Village part of it. But as we came down the driveway, I got a 5-second shot that is made for a backdrop of part of something we're doing.
Yeah. Fully within legal rights.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
There's not a human in the video.
So basically what ended up happening, and like I said, it's all in the video and everything, is we got chased down. We got chased down to where we were essentially trapped at the end of a dead-end road. And Ronnie decided to jump out of the car and run at our car, like in an effort to attack us. And the magistrate decided that that was good enough for assault charges. And now the judge has to decide. Yeah. They were there first. Understand? I don't believe in like going to the police and stuff about things.
We reported it because I was like, well, after they followed us again after that, and then I'm just like, should we report this?
Yeah, there's a second time. We left and sat at a place almost arguing about it because she wanted to call, and I'm like, I don't want to call. And I'm
like, well, they're probably calling, telling them something, so I might as well at least have this on record.
And they did. You're right. She was on the phone with them. We did hear them. And so they beat us there because they picked a lot of people up from jail there, apparently.
Oh, well, they know
like
the
they knew
courthouse
the door to
so.
go to and everything.
Yeah.
Like it's so, because that's where the jail lets out, I guess. If you went in there, you see what I'm talking about. But so they beat us there. So they, I shouldn't even say they. Debbie said this stalking thing.
Yeah.
And she was in there for freaking ever, to the point where the magistrate asked us to come back at 6:00 p.m. He stayed after work.
And usually they don't do that.
Because he's like, something didn't add up here or whatever. So anyways, everybody gets their day in court, and we'll talk about something else with that later. But the fact of the matter is, why, John, like, I can't believe that they would have told you to say the stalking thing. Do you guys not understand that, like, there's everybody carries around a phone in their pocket where, like, even if they're not filming you in your face, like, kind of like with the Hope Village documentary, the cult documentary we're coming out with soon, screw it, I'll say it. A lot of people walked around and they felt offended, or they felt like something was wrong. They had questions. So they recorded audio. We investigated. We've interviewed together probably.
Oh my God, I can't even count now.
Like 30 people.
Yeah.
And they're not who you think they are.
No.
They're not drug addicts. Like they're people that you're going to be very surprised by. Very surprised by. They're probably people that you think, I don't know, that you had brainwashed or something. But you can't just make stuff up, John. Like, all of this shows that you just constantly make stuff up. So let's see, what page, what card am I on? This is so irritating.
I know.
He has a sassy little tongue click he does.
So you actually got,
You're sassy, John. Sassy. That's a Trailer Park Boys reference. That's real smutty television. I shouldn't even reference that.
There's not even a picture of her or him on her page, but that's so that the government don't know that he's living there in the house and they're getting free rent on HUD. So know what we're talking about, baby.
Yeah, we have no pics on each other's page. Because then I can keep living here. For HUD housing,
I guess. I can live here for free, and so he can,
or whatever. I don't even understand. Yeah, I think this guy knows too much about fraud.
Yeah,
I really do. I seriously don't know how people pull it off. It's my understanding that, like, hundreds of thousands of people, like, get Social Security checks who are dead. They're like 270 years old.
Oh, yeah.
So I know it happens. I'm not going to sit here and deny it happens, but I've never looked at how to do it. So, anyways, no pics on each other's pages. Did you look at our pages? Like,
I don't know how much you can see on mine, but I do have some of my stuff public.
The cover pictures.
And the cover pictures are there.
There's like 7.
You can go into, I think, at least 1 or 2 of my albums to see some of the pictures in there. There's pictures of us. I mean,
it's insane.
Like, and he has single on his profile or whatever. I guess he does. I guess
I did. I honestly didn't know that.
I don't have my relationship status.
And the only reason I didn't change it is because maybe he took a screenshot and he'll say, see? And he'll be right about one thing.
I don't even have a relationship status on there. I don't know where it went. But I
didn't know mine said single. Like, to be honest, I may have never changed it. I don't know. Anyway.
Everybody who knows us knows we're together. People who don't know us know we're together. A lot of people assume we are married because we've been together for 11 years. I mean, just...
And I do, as we talk about now in a minute, I do refer to her as my wife, so,
Know what we're talking about, saying that I stole money. But when your channel grows, you're going to get people try to get famous off of your name.
So, we used his name saying he stole money. That's not what we did.
No, it's not.
It's like after him and Hope Village defamed Becky's and somewhat portrayed Hope Village as a Helene camp.
Mm-hmm.
We had, we did our little video, and then, like I said a minute ago, all these people came to us to the point where I cannot keep up with it. I don't sleep enough. It's, like, extremely stressful. They're all nice people. They're all great people. They all need things. Not all of them, but some of them need things, and I don't want to leave them hanging. So it's like, anyways.
We've taken on a lot more than we ever thought we would with this, and we're not continuing on with it because of, some pride or ego thing, because it's stressful.
Yeah.
We're doing it because we actually give a crap about doing the right thing, believe it or not.
Yeah. And the thing is, when he says this, my wife thing here, she does this and that. Well, I'll show what I said. It doesn't exactly say that, you're doing a crazy amount of stuff or anything like that. It was just
I was doing a hell of a lot.
We needed a camper, but she was wearing her the hell out. And to be honest, we actually had arguments about it because I thought she was doing too much. It was like breaking her down.
No, I kind of was.
The people you're helping were doing great, but you weren't. So it's kind of like that oxygen thing in the plane.
Very,
that
exhausted.
reference. And so you'll see from my conversation with him here, and I've showed the whole thing before, and the horrible things he says about homeless people. Save that for another episode if I have to. He wants to keep making them. But I gave advice to him to back away from Debbie. And it was based on the allegation that Rosalie was a con artist and a newspaper article about him having weird dealings at Haven on the Hill or something, I guess, where he just jumped to play hero and went and yelled at county commissioners.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, everywhere he went, there's, like, a problem.
Yeah, it seems like scamming and problems were following the stories he was ending up covering.
And, like, just as somebody who has created a lot, like, the Minivan musician page might not be all big and stuff like that, but like my business does very well digitally. I was a search engine optimization expert. Like, this is what I do. And marketing is a huge part of what I do. And I was trying to come to you and say, hey, you might want to back away from this because sometimes you can't get certain stink off you.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to say.
It was actually out of respect, believe it or not. I don't know.
I mean, the only way you could
why we respected you, but...
Right. And, like, the only way you could have, like, rebranded is if you had to admit once again that you were dealing with a scammer. It was Rosalie, allegedly, which it wasn't. But it was Rosalie, and then it was Debbie. I guess you could have, like, called Debbie out at some point, and then it could have became, like, you are the buster of scammers.
Yeah.
You filmed dirt. You filmed hay. You filmed a mess all over the place.
Fencing.
There's a rhyme for you. You filmed everything. Behind her back, in front of her, all that kind of stuff. But you couldn't film or even get audio when you knew that, like, stealing was happening.
Yeah.
Scamming was happening.
To claim, 100% fact. This is not hearsay. I was there.
Right. You never once thought to turn your camera or phone on?
That donations were being sold?
Not once? No pictures? Nothing? No interview with anyone? Like, seriously?
Yeah.
Like, so... I find it hard to believe. This is just logic. This is not like something you could say is a lie. I never say this is 100% fact unless it's 100% fact. Right. Every video we've done, I've said what I think is, and this is just me. And I may as well throw that like AIDS thing in there real quick.
Oh.
It'll be in the other video. It'll be talked about. But if she and Ronnie and because he yelled about it when we had and even John have some kind of whatever about that. It's like for a brief second I feel bad. I'm like, wait a minute, no, I don't need to feel bad. Because I feel bad because it is something that I grew up scared to death of. Now you know my age. Okay? And it's a very serious thing. And 2 close friends of my mother died like painfully slow.
I had a friend growing up die from
with full-blown AIDS anyway.
With it.
Yeah, so, that was insane. Yeah, like that's insane that happens. So what I'm trying to say is that when that part came up in the episode, if anybody actually watches it, Alicia, who we were interviewing, said, I bet you she doesn't even have HIV. And I actually jumped in and said, whoa, wait a second. Anybody watching needs to understand that the only reason she's saying that is because all of these other things that come out of Debbie's mouth are a lie, and it's like a hyperbolic statement.
Yeah, there's like, multiple different stories told, so it's like no one knows what to believe.
And there's been a couple different, and she focused on it's not defamation, I can say it because this happened to me, and maybe it did, but there's a couple different like stories as to how that happened, depending on who you, Debbie, or she is speaking with.
Yeah.
Like I said, people record things.
He's quit posting anything now after that last video we put out, and then these charges has been brought against him for stalking. And we made a video about that, and there'll be more videos coming. We thought they was going to get a few views by using my name because they only had like 200 subscribers since 2017.
135,000 lifetime views, I think.
Yeah, 135,000 lifetime views.
I've quit posting. We've quit posting.
Oh, yeah.
2 weeks ago, I put up something addressing extreme kidnapping and the rapper thing because he was still talking trash. I haven't made anything, and John, you know exactly why I haven't made any videos. You know I'm working on a big project. And the reason I say that, and maybe you've deleted it, but you know damn well, I went back and forth with one of your fans in a comment section, and you actually were liking and disliking comments and commenting on the comments. And you know what I'm doing. I've said it in the shorts you've seen, and I've said it in the comments. I'm very busy putting something serious together. You can sit here and say it's not going to happen and try to convince people that I'm like afraid to do something. No, I'm doing something real. And I don't have a lot of time because I actually work. I don't do this full time. So stop pretending like I'm running, hiding, made a fool out of myself.
Yeah,
like,
oh God, we hung our tail between our legs.
Jesus, dude.
I
Like,
mean,
everything you say is a lie. Like,
because you got your little people or whoever, I don't know, they did it on their own to cape for you and decided to come after, you know, certain things and screw with people that I know.
Yeah, whoever's helping him, stop. You're making him look dumb. Like I said at the beginning, like you're making his actual fans doubt everything that comes out of his mouth. Now, if he's just making stuff up, that's fine, F him. But and he says there will be another video, but you don't have time for somebody with such a small channel. But now you're planning videos, dude. You are like really borderline schizophrenic in this video. Like, no, actually, no, it would be bipolar, but people use the schizophrenic.
Yeah.
But it better be a self-debunking video. That's what you need to make at this point. And just leave me the hell alone. Like, I'll tell the truth. I'll say it right now. You know, maybe I shouldn't. Maybe, you know, some people say I shouldn't. You're barely touched on in this project I'm making.
Yeah.
You're tied to it by choice, but you are barely touched on. At the very beginning, I told you to back off. But anyways.
There's way more important things. Sorry, you're really not that important.
Back to the lies. 200 subs.
Before we started using his name.
Right. So we only have 814.
Yeah.
I don't do this full time. I've gained 114 since then. Most of them are like victims of Hope Village and stuff. But so we had 700. So 3.5 times more than what you said. And you said 200 a whole bunch of times. But this is the one that's specific that like just shows the lying. 135,000 views. You said it multiple times. And your son even looked at the screen as though he was checking to make sure that was correct.
Yeah, like in total or whatever?
Nah, but it's not a big number. 217,000 as of now. As of whatever.
The other day.
Yeah, we'll even be nice and call it 200. We haven't gotten 3,000 views in the last couple days. But we'll say 214,000 instead of 217. I'm funny about numbers. We'll be very specific. We've gained 14.2 thousand views since using his name. It's been like almost exactly a month, and I could show all that. So that leaves us with, you know, if I go to 214, it leaves us with 200,000. See what I mean? Like 135, and it's 200,000. You know, 200 subs, 700. It starts showing a pattern of, trust me, bro.
Just saying whatever the heck spouts out of your way.
Yeah, like whatever.
Minivan, musician, van, whatever. They live in a minivan or something. I don't know, but they did at one time. I have no idea. I know that he's the guy that does extreme kidnapping.
I love the way that he states things as though they're fact, and then it's like, oh, I don't know, but I know. And it's like they lived in a minivan, or did they, or I don't know. It's like kind of like it's like you're Appalachian, but you're not, John.
Right.
That's kind of like your channel name, the minivan musician thing. Yeah, we never lived in a van, bro.
No.
We did a vancation.
Yeah,
we did that. I sold custom mattresses, custom sized mattresses for like 10 years. And a lot of people took to the road during like the COVID thing.
Yeah.
Well, we did it before the COVID thing, but it was like I saw people convert their minivans.
Yeah.
And I was still doing music. And so I was like practically at the time a middle-aged man who's driving a minivan because he's got kids and stuff and a family. And it just sounded cool.
Yeah, still doing music on the side. I think I came up with the name, actually.
Yeah, the M's. It's like this. And then I have another channel that he doesn't really need to know about.
Nah.
You know, screw that. He'd like the views on that, though. He'd be somewhat impressed, I think. But anyways, extreme kidnapping.
Oh, boy.
Now, there's views, buddy.
Views you'll never get.
Yeah, I addressed this in a short. It's funny. The guy references things and then acts like he didn't. and I'll talk about that in a second too. Extreme kidnapping, I explained in a short. People can go back to my shorts, but basically, it's based on the movie The Game. And my buddy's a very successful entrepreneur. He's an ex-convict success story, and so he's an inspirational person. We call him the most fascinating man. What up, Adam?
Yeah, very, very cool person.
Extremely intelligent dude.
Yeah.
And extreme kidnapping was huge. Like, before there was Views, there was the Howard Stern show that was on.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
There was no social media really going on.
Right. So, I mean, this and the music thing, I want to ask John, like, do you ever do anything interesting in your life? We were saying earlier that it's like, even if I only for a short time made a living off of music, and even if I made decent money on extreme kidnapping when I did it.
Yeah.
But even then, it's like, okay, you're creating something for people to enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
It's called entertainment, buddy. Like, try it sometime.
Yeah.
Like, you are pointing a camera at people that are the creator. You call yourself a content creator. Okay, you're creating a content, but they're the creator. They're doing the thing.
Mm-hmm.
You're filming them doing the thing. Somebody who goes up and performs music that people sing along with and things like that, that's the creator. The guy who is filming in the crowd is not the creator.
No.
That's just something I want to make real clear, because sometimes I get my own feelings about the fact that I spent way too much time chasing a dream with that. But then I think, like, wait a minute, like, that was pretty significant.
You did a lot of really cool stuff.
Yeah, the cool stuff, went to cool places, met really cool people. The extreme kidnapping thing was, like, really cool, and it's been featured in, like, like textbooks and colleges,
and that's real.
Yeah, and there's actual qualifications involved that have to do with anti-terror and stuff like that. So it's one of those things where it's pretty interesting.
People pay a lot of money to use that.
You sounded like Trump there.
Well, a lot of money.
Yeah.
Well, they do, though. They do. They pay a lot.
Billions and billions
of dollars.
I'm not into extreme kidnapping. If you watch those videos, they're into serial killers. They kind of like want to be a Dexter, where they go out and kill people or something. I don't know. I've not watched them. I've just been hearing people tell me they're really strange and got some weird ideals.
I guess we're into serial killers and want to kill people.
Or
He called that strange. The people are saying we're strange, and that was a part where he said, like, he describes, like, my video almost in detail, and he goes, "But I don't watch it."
He
That's
said,
what
"Well,
people tell me.
I didn't see it. That's what I've been told." Okay, Mike has videos of several videos that are still up and around from years of music. And I knew immediately the one he was referencing without saying the name of it, because I was there when the video was shot by a professional videographer.
It was her friend that was in it.
My friend was the actress in it.
And that videographer is, like, one of my best friends in the world. Shout out Jamal.
Yeah.
I wrote it and directed it.
No, B. Will shot it, didn't he? And J. Palm acted in it.
Oh, dang. I had it mixed up with the other video. Oh, my God.
Yep, B. Will shot
Jamal
that.
Jamal was there.
Jamal acted in it.
B. Will's actually, he's really good. He's done a lot of, like, big things.
Yeah.
And
that was a fun thing to film. Yes, that was years ago. So...
I was a person that when I did music, like, the internet thing wasn't really that... There was, like, MySpace, right? And I'd be on the MySpace charts, but I was selling thousands of albums. Like doing pretty good with music. At this time, it was, like, way later in my life, and I was just doing it for fun. Yeah. So if it's, like, got a couple thousand views, cool. You know what I mean? But that video, it's based on Dexter, TV show. Mm-hmm. And for the dude to say how strange it is to serial killers and stuff, like, where's that? There's a coloring
My coloring book.
Yeah, see, like this here. Danielle designed this.
I did not. I wish I could take credit for that.
Serial killer coming, but here's the thing.
Tons of those, though.
I'm pretty sure that serial killers, or true crime at least, is the #1 genre on YouTube.
I'm sure it is.
And it's interesting to get into the psychology of a serial killer.
Or any crime, yeah.
I mean, why do you think that when a show for the 5th time on the same serial killer comes out, it's the #1 show in the world?
Yeah.
People are interested in this, John. You say it's strange. How is something that the majority of human beings in the civilized world enjoy talking about and watching?
I'm sure more than half of you sat there and watched Dahmer on Netflix, you know?
You watched Dexter.
Yeah, oh yeah.
It's one of the biggest shows in the history of television. So, I mean, yeah, I portrayed Dexter in that video, and I think it was actually it was pretty cool. Like,
that video was so much fun.
The only thing I regret is the, there's like some thelemic magic stuff.
Yeah.
And, like, there's symbols in it that are like dark on purpose. It's like, borderline satanic.
Well, the other rapper in it was,
this kind of stuff he did.
That stuff. So.
There's different genres. It's kind of like heavy metal in the 80s, guys. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like Motley Crue, Shot at the Devil.
Exactly.
Like, for people that don't understand or they're older, it's like, it's not
the occult.
No, it's not. No. And I am a person who's really into that. Not by into that, I mean into explaining to people how real it is and how to stay away from it.
Yeah.
And things like that. So, like, the serial killer thing, like, really cracked me up because that is like a huge subgenre of its own of art. And the funny thing is when I heard him say that, I was like, man, there's got to be a lot of music artists that like had music videos and songs and stuff based on serial killers. The list is unbelievably long. I started writing them down, and I was like, I'm going to run out of ink. I'm going to stop. Like, we'll start with the Beatles. There you go.
Helter Skelter.
Yeah. Right. It's about Charles Manson there. And, yeah. So, the Beach Boys were actually literally affiliated with him.
You really know your stuff.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is all silly stuff. That part there is just funny.
It was
so not everything you said is a lie.
No.
The strange thing is an opinion, but everything you said was a lie. From like how many kids we have was even wrong. The HUD housing thing. What else was it?
I can't keep track anymore. They're
stuff,
so
man.
dumb.
The Rosalie situation, since somebody brought it up, yes, her daughter and son-in-law was arrested yesterday, and for
Madison, Rosalie's daughter,
did
get arrested for animal cruelty.
Yeah, that's the charge.
We were there.
Mm-hmm.
And here, I'll put it like this, and I don't mean this disrespectfully at all. We barely know Madison.
Yeah.
John, you've talked to her for a couple hours on the phone before. We met her for 5 minutes before, and then we were there for moral support for Rosalie.
Yeah. And I was trying to be there for moral support for her, too, just as a kind person.
Yeah. It's like we're not going to totally ignore her.
No.
Like, we're going to be friendly to her, but seriously, like, we aren't friends with her. And it sounds like a mean thing to say or whatever, but seriously,
well,
like
we just met.
Right. We just met. We're barely acquaintances, to be honest. Like the one time we met, I don't know if we said more than 2 words to each other.
No.
When they came over there for that pig situation and all that. So yeah, they were arrested for animal cruelty. The way that John like just jumps from thing to thing, like I seriously think he's like, getting senile or something. Either he's just a strange dude. Like the way he jumps from thing to thing, it sounds like we were arrested for animal cruelty. Because it's like, yeah, so they were arrested for animal cruelty, and he's going back to what his son said a minute ago. But people watching, man, I know that. So
they won't be able to keep track of what the hell he's saying.
Yeah, nobody knows who the hell we are. Nobody knows who Madison is.
Yeah, they don't care who
we
are.
Make a phone call and talk trash to somebody if you have like a personal thing with them. Come see them, whatever. They don't want to come see me. But we'll talk about that in another video. Like you just cross the line into being like an earthworm at that point. But so yeah, they were arrested, and like I said about Ronnie, and hey, even myself, I guess, even though I'm not charged with anything, there's an accusation, I guess. But everybody has their day in court.
Yeah.
I honestly have no idea if they're guilty. I'll come out and say that if they're guilty in the way that was being alleged,
then that's pretty bad.
And so if it's the way they made it sound now, of course, like police and animal people, the court always make it sound 100 times worse. Like think of Trump.
Oh yeah.
Think of Trump, like 55 charges for like the same thing. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, but what I do know is there was stuff that I didn't like in there. But like I said, I didn't see any proof. It makes it seem like she was in over her head trying to run that business.
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
Oh my God,
it's a lot of work having.
I couldn't do it.
And those animals,
Period.
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of time.
You don't make no money at it either.
No. I mean, you just
You gotta love
So,
animals, I guess.
When you have a lot of animals, and I mean, it just
She's taken care of giant dogs and stuff
all kinds
before.
of stuff. So sometimes it gets overwhelming, but I don't think they're horrible people that are doing cruel things.
No, I don't think they're actually like maliciously hurting animals. Right.
Yeah.
I think that maybe she's overwhelmed, but I could be totally wrong in that.
Yeah, I mean, we
it's just a guess, and
wrong.
I'm just trying to show that we're impartial.
Yeah.
And I'm giving my opinion that there has to be like something there, but there is that whole situation that we've tried to explain 100 times, and it's not even that we're trying to like defend Rosalie or anything. It's just I hate inaccuracy. Like when people act like they're reporters or journalists or something, and they create this content, it's just complete BS. Like they're always attaching Rosalie to the thing that happened at the Apple Fest or whatever.
Yeah.
And she had, well before that, gave the business to her daughter.
Right.
And that was her daughter. And all that was not having a permit for where she was at, despite the fact she paid that person for their personal...
And being able to run it down the road, and people were mad.
Yeah, and they said the animals were like,
they were in the heat.
In too much heat.
They had shade. There's
Dude,
pictures.
wasn't one of them a zebra?
I think the zebra might have been out there. I'm not sure.
It's just, I remember the animals I saw, like, are animals that live in the heat. That's all I'm saying. Well, I could be wrong.
I don't know which animals were there or not, but yeah.
We saw them. I just don't remember. It's just your typical, petting thing. And they looked fine to me. Like they were in, like she had a tent. They were in shade. And the ones that weren't in shade were like choosing to not be in the shade. So there's like room and stuff.
Every time I've seen any of their animals, they have looked healthy to me.
And I won't even say their animals. Because they don't share animals.
Yeah, oh, no. I mean,
Rosalie has a handful of animals.
They're as in...
They all have seen
her and her husband, not Rosalie's animals. Anytime I've seen their animals, they've looked healthy to me.
I thought so.
And Rosalie's animals are always healthy, so,
I know that she knows how to take care of them because of Rosalie. She truly ran a business doing that for many, many years and never got an infraction ticket, whatever.
And she's very passionate about it.
Yeah, no black mark on her record at all. And it's just one of those things where maybe, it looks like John wants to give his YouTube empire to his son. Maybe your son won't be able to run it as well as you, John. Like, maybe he will pick big people to talk trash about, and that would actually work for him. Do the opposite of what your dad tells you to do, and you will succeed. No, but seriously, that maybe she got in over her head with it. Whatever.
We don't know.
They were arrested without incident.
Mm-hmm.
I recorded the entire thing from beginning to end.
Yeah.
So people that have something to do with leaking that information to people, remember that. Like, I know what kind of people some of these people are. They're pretty bad. And we were not there expecting an arrest either.
Not at all.
I thought it was like a check.
Not at all.
Like they're coming out there to hassle her again.
Well, to do a follow-up and then to see if about returning, some of the other animals, or checking to make sure they got vaccinations done or something, which they had just spent a ton of money on.
And there was like a rumor that the news would be there.
Yeah, that was a rumor.
And my thought was that I was going to film everything because sometimes the news likes to show one side of things.
Mm-hmm.
Like, aren't we used to that yet? So I was there as like alternative media to kind of film it and as moral support, but really almost legal support possibly. Like, wait a minute, they're harassing you. But then they had like an actual arrest warrant. And I was like, oh, damn. Okay.
Yeah, we were shocked.
I didn't expect that.
Rosalie was shocked. Madison was shocked. It was a shocking day.
Yeah, and to be honest, like most of what she heard, Rosalie was shocked by. Like she was in the dark about a lot of this. So, we're not tied to it at all. Like we have nothing to do with that. And like I said, I can't sympathize with people that would actually.
Yeah, if they're guilty of that, then I would.
Anybody who's innocent, like, children, obviously, that's why she does the anti-trafficking thing. I can never do it because of the stuff she has to see. But children, the elderly.
Yeah.
Especially when you have like no medical care or anything like that there for
them.
like homeless people, animals, obviously. And then, of course, to be honest, to some degree, or to a large degree, like drug addicts.
Oh, yeah.
Like in a Hope Village situation.
Mm-hmm.
Like he talked about, this is the greatest program.
Greatest program I've seen or something.
Does your research just need to be Google? Like, try it, even though it's trash when it comes. The basics, like what do you do when someone's a drug addict to help them, are there. you know, or you can just go on websites. People are experts to this, or organizations, things like that. You can't run a place where basically you're like, tough it out.
No, it doesn't work.
You're coming off the street on dope, or you're just on dope. Detox there unsafely.
Yeah.
And just be expected to transition into regular life the next day.
Yeah, just be working on stacking wood and stuff. Like, it just doesn't.
No. It sounds great, I guess, to someone who lives in the 1800s. But we know now that, you know, you got to do certain medications for like blood pressure. You have to have mental health assistance there.
You got to have monitoring right from the jump when they go into the initial detox phase. A detox is part of the rehab program. So you go through the detox part. They usually keep them about a week, and they monitor them heavily and give the medication that's needed to make sure they don't die and that they're okay. And then after that, it is from, you know, it's got to be a program, a real one.
Right.
Like where you get up at 6 a.m. and they make you have a schedule like the military. You have to make your bed. You get up and you do classes and therapy and group therapy, and they bring your family in to try and fix it. I mean, all kinds of stuff until, you know, you go to bed at night and do it all over again.
Right.
Like, it is not, and that is the only way I've ever seen anybody actually be successful in staying sober. That is what saved my life 9 years ago. So, you know.
And it was, like, the one thing I'll say is that we showed that the statistics are really bad.
They're terrible.
But they're really bad for people with the proven best approach.
Yeah.
Imagine how bad it is when you have none of that stuff. None of the mental health help, like nothing. There's not a nurse. There's nothing. And the program, as we've talked to people, and we'll elaborate on it later, and maybe I'll start one now, because it seems like whenever, like, you know, somebody leaks something to you that we're criticizing you about, like, you know, all of a sudden you start doing it.
I mean, I have a ton of materials if you need them. I got
she
a ton.
does. Like, she was literally, we said this before, and I'll say it again, like a hero in the damn recovery community.
Hero.
You were like on the news leading marches.
I know, but I don't know. I wouldn't say hero, but I mean, yeah, I ran an anti-drug campaign that was a pretty big thing in Detroit.
Right. And even though the statistics for the people who came in contact with that campaign were bad, they were better than a lot of other ones. Yeah, like a lot of other ones. Like, from what I saw.
I wasn't a rehab. We helped a lot of people get in, but
that's the thing.
You know, I'm not here to advertise the things that I've done. I don't need to do that. But.
And so she knows a lot about that stuff. And there is no actual program. For John to say, like, this is the best program. It's like, dude, he's like, they go from a tent to a camper to an apartment or a trailer or whatever. No, dude, like, we have talked to, like, practically everyone. You name the one guy who's been a success.
Right, yeah.
But we know all his story, too, because at first he kind of wanted to... Yeah. So, anyway, the people we talked to, like, weren't addicts and stuff. You like to say that everybody gets booted out of there because they're addicts, and, like, you know, some people leave because they want to be addicts. No.
They're all disgruntled people that get kicked out, and they're just, you know, going to have a bad story, like when you get fired from a job or something.
Dude. Like I said, people record things. You know, people care about their lives, despite the fact that they're in a really low place. You know, and anyways, the program, there's no steps. People get booted out into a camper with no job in the middle of nowhere.
See, we're going too much into this.
We are, but it's like bad. And I just got to make a point to people who may have somebody who's like needing help and they can't help them and they want to tell them to go somewhere. Stay the hell away is all I'm trying to say.
Send them there.
Because the program is going to be, you're in a hot tent, like they're not there most of the time. They have been lately, like trying to save face, but not there most of the time. When they are, they're completely horrible to you. There's like no resources for you. You basically load and unload supplies. They're who knows where they go. And then you may get a camper if they want you out of there. If you ask too many questions, if you have an attitude problem, quote unquote, like if they want you out of there. That's how you get a camper. It's not like I proved myself by being good and didn't do drugs, so please, Deanna and Ronnie, can I have my camper now, please? No, it's like they let you know like 30 minutes before you are to get the hell out of there.
Yeah.
And you have to understand that like now you have to pay rent. It's not like they're not just like giving you a place to live, dude. You have to pay to be there. Maybe someday, like with enough begging and enough, I'm sorry to say begging, but enough grifting, enough collecting of things from people, like you'll be able to like pay someone's rent a year in advance while they get their life together. But even if somebody's getting paid for like the first month or something, it's like, dude, like they're working for like minimum wage. Like this isn't working. You didn't do much for them.
Yeah.
Anyway, as far as the clicks go, it does not help me to get clicks from you. The dude says you can get famous from talking about him. Because what it comes down to is this. You don't get lasting fans from that. So I'll give you an example. Our channel suffers because of this. It was founded as a music channel.
Yeah,
so like,
that's what it started as for the most part.
Yeah, it's founded on that for a very short time. But not only is it bad in the YouTube algorithm sense, and you can't really change that. I didn't know it until you started creating things. It's bad in the sense that, okay, so now you have a bunch of people that are coming there for rap videos, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden we start doing politics.
Yeah.
Those people are going to fall off.
Right. Then they're not your fans.
They're not your fans anymore. Like, I don't want your fans.
No.
No offense to anybody.
No, I mean, it's just, our channel's probably not for you. Like,
right.
I mean, then that's...
Some of you might be. I don't know. But I'm just saying that... when you get clicks from the wrong thing, okay, so there's something that good. God, I feel like such a nerd doing this. When it comes to the search engine algorithm for YouTube specifically, and also Google to a degree, but it's harder to see it. There's how much authority you have on a subject. So if you decide to call your channel an Appalachian channel, and over time you build up a huge following and all your videos are about that, and both real people and, you know, robots, essentially, the AI can see that, you become an authority on the subject.
Yeah. Now,
sometimes a person can talk about the same thing as you and do a similar title and things like that. Like all these experts and stuff explain this on there. And they can get a ton of views on that video. And yeah, that matters if they're monetized.
Yeah.
But you know, John, that at best they're going to get $3,000 for 1 million views. And there's expenses there. So, I mean, a one-time thing, even... I got 10,000 views maybe from the thing with John.
I think.
But anyways, it's not lasting followers or anything.
No.
It leads to nothing. So if you're if you're doing the Appalachian thing and you're considered an authority on it, yeah, somebody can kind of hijack you for a second and get some views or whatever, but you maintain your authority. If anything, somebody talking about you brings you up higher.
Mm.
But then if all of a sudden you start talking about auto mechanics, your numbers are going to suck for both of those things in the algorithm, and they're going to suck in your followers because they're no longer seeing what they wanted to see.
Right.
So if, number one, I don't even want to do this like investigative stuff. This is not like...
We did not want to do this at all.
No, not at all. We have a thing that we want to do, and I promise you people, when we're able to do it, actually dedicate time and energy to it, it will be successful. But doing this would actually lead the channel and the authoritativeness or whatever they call it in the wrong direction. It would actually hurt what we're doing in the future to sit there and try to get quote unquote clicks from John. We're going to get paid for this. It doesn't help us at all. And like, put it this way, like his fans are his fans.
Yeah.
So like, you know, the views we're getting are not his fans.
No, they're not coming and watching.
I mean, the topic and stuff, and maybe the thumbnail and everything brings people in. Like I know the combination of things that bring people in. So you could see. I don't know if I'll time it right to put it here, but I've got like shorts and stuff of Adam that have like 10,000 views. For some reason, the one with 44,000 is gone. I don't know what happened with that. We don't get paid for the clicks. We don't have any kind of sponsorship. This doesn't fit the puzzle as to what this channel is going to one day be.
Right.
It can only do it harm if those are actually your people or people who would follow your channel, because it's going to be a different genre of videos. So that's where the problem lies. And also, John, you're so famous. But the thing is it's not all your fans coming to the video. 2/3 of the people like the video. And there's not that many people that I personally know that give a damn about this situation. So it's not as though I'm sending a bunch of friends there to hit like and things like that. Like,
no.
It's sillier than hell. So, and to be honest, maybe you don't know this, but I don't know, maybe you can get even more sensational sometimes. A dislike counts as good as a like, and oftentimes better if you're in a subject that's contentious.
Yeah, you'll be seen more.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, it got a decent amount of clicks because it was Western North Carolina at a time when people were finally talking about that again. And unfortunately, they're talking about it because of like other scams and stuff going around. And also because of the thumbnail, the keywords. Yes, John's channel bring people, but John, you get a lot of people because of other channels that have Appalachian in the name. Like, there's many people, not just myself, who, like, I'll say, like, dude, this guy's crazy. Like, friends of mine and stuff, they're like, man, I'm subscribed to that guy. And they'll go look, and it's not you. And I think they're talking about the Appalachian Storyteller or something.
Yeah, maybe.
I love the Appalachian Storyteller, but there's another one. So what I'm saying is that I'm pretty sure I'm not going to get famous off you. I tried. You know?
God.
And, you know.
Tried.
And,
tried so hard. And
since we're
so
monetized, and I only make 14 cents off of this. No, we're not monetized. I don't have any sponsorship. My other channel did. Well, my life did. It's a fitness related thing, and I know how sponsorships work and things like that. You should get one, John.
Yeah, I'm surprised you don't have any.
This kind of stuff will hurt your brand unless you make your brand like investigative journalism, which we are up against right now. Should we do this? If something's hurting people, I feel a duty to actually help those people. I can't just leave their messages in my inbox. I can't. If I had somebody to pass them to, maybe I would. But it's not really what I want to get into.
No, this has caused anything, just a lot of stress.
It's irritating.
For our life in many ways. And we wouldn't continue with it if it wasn't the right thing to do.
No.
It is the right thing to do. I cannot turn my back on these people.
Mm-mm.
I mean, and with everything that I've done with anti-trafficking and stuff like that, I mean, that your whole thing is you see something, you say something. Turning a blind eye and closing your eyes to ugly things and evil does not make it stop or go away.
No.
So.
Just like closing your eyes and saying I'm not doing anything is not going to make the project I'm doing go away. Don't make yourself more of a... Don't give yourself a chapter in a documentary. That's all I'm saying, man. I really want to raise some awareness, and I want to highlight that something people need to understand real quick before we did all this stuff. We were highlighting people who were like heroes in this situation. Yeah. People who are like, volunteer coordinators. Yeah. Just it feels like there needs to be, I don't know, some kind of crescendo.
I don't know.
I don't know what it is. I'm not sure. Maybe, I don't know, like messing with a guy who's just trying to facilitate helping people who've been taken advantage of, and just sit there and learn his apologia and all of his anthropological, like, nerdy stuff. Messing with a guy like that, something like that will cross your path.
Yeah,
not good for
our
you.
Big bad black cat.
Yeah, he's definitely bad luck, dude.
Yeah, we're
bad luck.
Into all that, That'll be the next thing.
But yeah, anyways, do you have anything else to say? I'm gonna have to chop this thing up at work tomorrow.
I mean, I have plenty to say, but I'm not gonna say it.
We have the other video to make, so it's like,
yeah.
John, one thing I'll say, and I'll leave this in there, is quit while you've convinced yourself you're ahead. And I should have said this earlier. It's an absolute, like, it's not just gonna make you a liar to your fans, but it's insulting to them. It's insulting to their intelligence for you to, like, lie all the time and
waste their time. I mean, it's a waste of the viewers' time to sit there and talk about stuff about our life. You
feel like the mainstream media,
it's
dude.
really Well, yeah, that it's exactly what it feels like, because I've seen over the years, and we all have, especially if you're more right leaning, you've seen over the years how mainstream media has gotten and what they do and the blatant lies that they tell, like crazy, just blatant lies. And you are like, oh, you hear that, but you don't really believe, like, they couldn't have actually really lied. And it's like, well, no, they actually did.
There's
and
no retraction or nothing.
Alternative press, which is content creating, and YouTube became the alternative news. We're supposed to be the ones that don't do that.
Yeah.
That's like really, really big and important for what we do. So it's just, I mean, I'm like, wow, he really told the stupidest lie.
Dumb lies. So if it's something big, what do you think? I always say that, like, if somebody's gonna lie about something stupid, it's something big, or they seriously just like they are a compulsive liar.
Yeah, I believe habitual liar would definitely fit.
And but even those people, oh damn,
our poor cat.
Oh buddy, even those people usually sprinkle a little truth in there to be convincing. I don't know. It's insulting to his followers because it feels like you're gonna believe me no matter what I say.